Hello, everybody. This is Tony Callis, Callis Rensport. I have to share something that we have here. Our customer has allowed us to restore R number one, 911 R number one. It is a one of 20 911, right? And there's been books on these R's. We all know about this stuff, at least we should. And there's others. There's Mr. Starkey's R to RSR book. There's you name it. But I wanted to share what we came across in an auction. And this came from Germany. It just arrived. This is unbelievable. And I'll try not to use any expletives. But this was one of the driving suits of the mechanics that they wore when the car ran the world record run at Monza, Italy. All right. I mean, you don't get it. It's hallowed ground, right? I mean, you don't get any cooler than this, in my opinion. I'm going to see if I can put this on, and if not, I have to lose more weight. But check out this photo album that came in that goes with the suit. And this was not cheap stuff in the auction. But, I mean, who cares, right? Look what you're getting. This is all talking about the record run that the Porsche factory did back in the day. But this is all from, I believe, BP, but it explains the whole record run. I mean, I'm shaking because this is amazing, and what they did, and the 4 Swiss drivers, etc. Talks about every lap. I mean, I should say one of the things that put Porsche on the map to get this record run, and it still holds. I think it did 96 hours straight. So first, they went to run the 906, the Carrera 6. And the Porsche factory was there. And that's Joe Sifford in the car with his Swiss helmet on. And as you can tell, you cannot tell the color of this car. There's no determining factor other than it's darker, like red or green. And people had assumed with the BP sponsorship that R number one would be green. And that's why it was painted green when we got it. It took me 10 years to restore the car. You may say, oh, how can that be? Getting the proper parts is the difficult situation. There's Joe Sifford. He's one of the 4 Swiss drivers, obviously very well known, very famous, very moderate personality from what I understand. This is one of the photos from the Monza record run. And we've gleaned a number of things from this, other than, a 911R door handle color to, it was raining there. This looks more red than green, but you couldn't tell at the time. What happened was we ended up on the phone, thanks to Brandy Leffingwell, we ended up on the phone with Peter Falk from the factory. And we did pick up other things, but he said he drove the car there. Okay. Porsche didn't have an engine, so they pulled one off the shelf that already had 100 hours on it. And these are approximates. But we noticed things like the markings on the tires. And we noticed that this had a gasoline heater, which the customer has chosen not to put one in this car. You can tell it's at night. It's cold. And these photos all came with this setup that was purchased in the auction. Look at Monza. The banking of Monza was very difficult. And you can see the collapsed hood of the 911R. Now, I'm going to start some incredible controversy here. But there are a lot of people, well-known people, that believe that the R had balsa in it to keep the hood from collapsing. None of the R's had balsa. Yes, the STs and whatnot had balsa in their front hood, but not the 911Rs. We noticed types of headlights and where decal placement was. You can look at the flares of the R, okay? So much of that's wrong. The way they hand painted the markings on the track. Look at the guardrail. And they ran the wipers. They ran both wipers, obviously, because of the climate at Monza. You can see Joe Sifford getting ready to get in the car. I believe that's Joe. I'm not sure. And we noticed where the decals, and we were able to extract the size of the decals off the photos. You can see all the dirt off of here. And the way the wheels were, there were different sets of wheels, obviously. They were marked differently. That might be Sifford, it's hard to tell, at the Monza track. We have seen these photos from the factory, so they're not as much a shock, but, and this is documenting the record run as they're doing it. This is at speed, so if you can imagine the car at full speed, and you can see the brake duct tape. That's why I've done that on our car. Photos are absolutely critical for us when we're restoring a car. Look at this craziness. This car is at full speed, not far from it. Photographers, amazing. And you can tell where the hinges are on the deck lid, etc. Yes, we have a number of other photos of those things. I'm just pointing out confirmations and where the stripes were on the car and how they angled back. Recording the laps. I went to the Porsche factory years ago to get information on this R when I was restoring it. You can see these suits, which is the same suit that we ended up with here. You can see the way the doors are and little details here. There is a number on the deck lid, like on the street car, where the deck lid is painted, that it has a wire. All these little details are important for us when restoring a car. Okay, the customers that pay the money and the people that buy these cars when they go to auction or whatnot are counting on us. We all know the 67 911 had a breakaway, had a screw-in mirror, and the 68 had a breakaway. You can check that out. People say, oh, aren't all 911Rs 67? Well, no, they actually are a 68. The VIN is a 68 on the R, but we call it a 67. Look at Sifford's intense. He's describing something having to do with the defrost. Raining at the time, they probably had some issues, and I'm sure they were probably in the middle of this record run. And you can see the two Germans there, the German mechanics. You can tell the way the wiper arms were with the rivets and whatnot. See how fat that rivet is? All those little details. Look at the steering wheel. How cool is that, huh? Sifford in the middle of the night. Look at how the texture of the deck lid is and where the screen's painted and how the wire is there. Okay, all the little details. Look how high up the car is. They had the car set up very high in ride height because of running the record run. You can see the front hood again, the height of the car, a beautiful night shot at Monza. Again, we did get these photos from the Porsche factory. Celebration. All right. Sorry, there's noise from the alignment shop next door. You can see how the hood is collapsed. They've got the Swiss flag on the car. That only leads us to believe that it's red. If Peter Falk did not give us that information, we could not have confirmed what color the car was. And then we have the drivers. At the very end, Dieter Sperry. At the very end, we have the final explanation of the record run. So this all came from an auction. Pretty cool. Now I'm going to take you out to the car and we can look at that shortly. I have some 956, 962 heads here that I like to keep on the shelf. I just like to look at these titanium connecting rods. My book collection is something that I highly value. There's the 911R book. I say the book. There's a number of them. Starkey's RSR. Spoke to him yesterday. Nice gentleman. But yeah, the books are what we use as reference material. Now, moving out to the car. I'm not going to let it down. I'm just going to show you a few things. Markings on the grease cap, the way the tires are marked, all little details that are critical of the R. Okay, so the R is a completely different beast, built by Bauer. Bauer built the 959. You see how the decals didn't wrap around? Porsche didn't lead the joints. The door handles, plastic, etc., etc. Many little details, and I'm pointing out things that everybody knows, not secrets, you know? You can see the door in the R is approximately 5 to 6 millimeters longer. These are details that are critical. And then I'll take you over to R. This is R number 1, okay? This is chassis 1. There's something else that I've only seen 3 of in this world, is this engine case has no bypass and relief valves in it, okay? That's a true motorsport engine case. You don't see that. It's a very, very, very valuable piece. And then we'll go over to R number 1. I'm sorry, that was R number 1. We're gonna go to number 19. And this car is now ready for assembly. Again, we stuck with our details of the decals, the leaded joints, the doors, everything. R number 1 through R number 7 are roughly all the same, okay? R number 8 through number 20 are, I'm sorry, I'm getting this mixed up. 1 through 7 are individually different. Number 8 through number 20 are the same. That's how Porsche built these cars. So just giving you some information there that's critical to know about the R. So if somebody's trying to pull one over on you, you'll know. Here's a beautiful 73 RS and a 53 356. So just a few beautiful cars that you can look at, and then I'll let you go. All right, you guys have a great one, a great week, whatever you want to call it, and that's all. I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you so much.